Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Luis, and thanks for tuning in to another episode. This episode might be new to some of you guys, or for some of you guys that follow the channel strictly for the Supra. Just so you guys know, this video is not going to be dedicated to the Supra. I know some of you guys might get mad at me, like, Luis, what the heck, man? You got to tune this thing already. I know. Sorry. I have no excuses. No excuses. But today's video is going to be something else. I have here a set of SPC upper control arms. And it's not going on the Supra. Let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, guys, my channel is not just specifically about the Supra. I usually like to maintain and upgrade my vehicles here and there. And as some of you guys may know, I do own a couple of them. One being the Supra over here. And let me show you guys the other two. Some of you guys may also know that I have a first generation Toyota Sequoia 4-wheel drive limited. I have done custom headlights, retrofitted headlights on this, which I have a video on, but I never uploaded. Let me know if any of you guys would be interested in seeing that. But my other baby, this is my first generation Toyota Tacoma, and which I have pretty much upgraded the whole suspension of it on it for the most part. But if you guys are interested in seeing the transformation on this truck, click on the link up here or up here, wherever it is. But yeah, a lot of work has been done to this truck, and today's video is dedicated to this truck because, as you guys can see over here, I basically have slicks for front tires, and if you guys could see the inner side of the tire, they have a lot better tread on the outside, or on the inside compared to the outside. And my front tires used to look like my rear ones, which are pretty good, semi-good, good tread. The reason for that is because I have Bilstein 5100s. I have Ebach or Old Man Emu 8262, or I forget the exact number, but basically stiffer springs. I also have diff drop, but anyways, I have, it's more than a 3-inch lift on the truck. I never upgraded my upper control arms. As you guys can see, those are bone stock, and the problem with that was that when I raised the truck, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I have positive camber, so on both wheels, and I drove the truck like that for a while. Unfortunately, yeah, as you guys can see, both the outside of my front tires are completely worn out, and that was due because of the fact that I did not upgrade my upper control arms. So that being said, I went online and I pretty much waited on Rock Auto until they had the SPC upper control arms in stock, and I got these for a good deal. Honestly, they were about I want to say 180 to 200 bucks a piece, which normally they're like $700 to $800 for these basically adjustable upper control arms. I have never installed these. I've heard they can be a pain in the butt, but I'm gonna go ahead and install these now. A lot of talking, but yeah, Rock Auto, shout out to Rock Auto, good deal. So let's begin to take these off. For those of you familiar with the first gen Tacomas, or second or third gen 4Runners, I forget which one it is, this bolt basically has to come out, and it's gonna be a pain because it has to go through the inner linings of like the engine bay, which is gonna kind of suck from what I've seen online. But basically this long bolt has to come out that way, and then this bolt right here, or the castle nut, has to come off, and then this has to be pushed out, And then the joint here on the spindle actually has to be removed in order to install the new piece here. So this is gonna go on the spindle. I guess this is the hardest or the most pain in the butt of the whole process, which I've never done, and I'm kind of expecting it to be a pain. So let's get into it. There's different settings in which you could set this on depending on your lift. So this here, different rotations that you could set it on, and that will depend on your actual height. Most people, from what I've seen online, leave it on the F setting, but we're gonna figure this out. Another thing to note, guys, my front axle boots are pretty much gone. They're pretty bad, and this is gonna be a future video, but I also have extended axles from O'Reilly's, a specific part number. Some of you guys may know about these, some of you guys may not, but these are bolt-on extended axles, beefier axles too, from O'Reilly's. Good deal on these as well, and I'm gonna throw these on later on. But yeah, stay tuned, subscribe for a future video. All right, guys, you guys can see the big difference here. You guys can see these. Kind of sucks because these tires were about 80%, 90% when I first got them, and on the outsides of both of them, they're just completely worn out, which really sucks. All right, so I have some PB Blaster, put it on this one. Just got an old breaker bar, got this loose. I don't think I'm gonna be using this castle nut anymore, so the way that I'm gonna do it, kind of get it all the way to the top so it's not gonna hurt anything over here. Hit it with the pretty much big hammer. I got the bolts over here loose. I did have this covered over here, but unfortunately tried taking some of the stuff off, and 400,000 miles or close to 400,000 miles, this stuff is pretty crusty, so unfortunately I cannot use that anymore, but I guess I'm not gonna be needing it. So the way I've heard that this kind of works is, as you guys can see, I have it loose here. Make sure you don't lose this stuff, but slide it off a little bit, and then as the bolt is coming off, you could kind of bend this out the way a little bit, but the more you work it out, the more you keep sliding this washer down and down and down until eventually it kind of works its way out. See, I'm here pushing it. I'm gonna keep on sliding this down, and then work this way out. So yeah, there's a 10mm bolt right here for the brake line. All right, so under the engine bay, as you guys can see down there, there's the bolt right there. I do have this AC line that I'm gonna have to move out the way slightly. So any bolts that you have to remove, just take those out, and that's gonna work its way out this way, and we shouldn't have a problem. On the driver's side, as you guys can see down there, there's a sensor down there that I'm gonna have to remove, and I'll probably remove the battery as well, just to have better access. But from other people's videos that I've seen, they remove the battery and then they remove that sensor right there, because the bolt is going to slide all the way up to here and eventually hit that, and it's going to prevent it from coming out all the way. So yeah, basically the same sensors on both sides. And yeah, let's keep on removing this stuff. All right, guys, so this was at a better angle. I got a better angle to do with the freaking mallet, and then this is pretty much off now, so I have enough daylight today to do one side. So I'm gonna take this bolt off castle nut, and then I'm gonna attempt to take this off today, maybe if I have enough daylight. But yeah, we got the old control arm off. That's pretty much kind of all the light that I'll have for today. Sun's going down, and tomorrow we'll continue. So I don't know if you guys can see here, but basically if you lift up the little ball joint boot, which you have to cut this little ring that's holding it in place, you put that up, and there's like a little ring here that holds the ball joint in place. So gotta get some pliers to remove that and make sure it doesn't go flying and you lose it. But just in case, if you do, the control arms come with one, but you never know. Better safe than sorry and not lose this thing. So let's get this thing off. If you guys see here, I got some of these pliers here, a little flathead, and you kind of start working one side, and then you work your way around, and then that should come off. So yeah, continue to do that all around until it comes up, and you should be good to go. All right guys, so on the driver's side, you're gonna repeat the same thing. 2 bolts holding this sensor in here. Already took them out. This comes off, and then there's gonna be one down here that's bolted on right there. That's gonna give me room to pull that bolt all the way out here and pretty much get it out. But other than that, is pretty much repeat the same process as you guys saw on the passenger side. And yeah, this side pretty much went a lot quicker. I pretty much took the control arm off in about 15 minutes. The only thing that I was noticing that on this side, on the other side I was talking about putting the bolt in this way. On the driver's side, you have all the brake lines in here. So honestly, I'm probably gonna put the bolt in the same way that it came out, just the driver's side. It honestly was not that big of a deal to take it out from here. So all right, so one thing that I did on both sides is I cut the ball joints off. That way, right now when I go rent a ball joint press, I don't have anything getting in the way of pressing these things out, because these are gonna have to get pressed out. I did that on both sides, just so yeah, I don't struggle pressing these things out. So yeah, a little simple wrench, and as you guys can see, it's being pressed out. Now the bad thing about this one is that it slides to one side, so you gotta loosen up, readjust, and then take it out on the other side. And yeah, basically keep adjusting until it comes out. There you have it. It is out. That is there. Now I'm gonna give this just a slight little cleanup, little sandpaper, just a tiny bit, just to get the old surfaced, I guess, rust off, and then put the new stuff on there. All right guys, so we have everything here, all the new parts, new locking pin or ring. The good thing about the new ball joint, whatever this is called, I forget. The good thing about this is, from what I've seen online, that most people just push this on. It's not even like it doesn't have to get pressed in, as you guys can see here. Some people have to use a dead blow hammer, but in my case, I just kind of pretty much pressed it on. No big deal. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and install the new lock ring. Don't use the old one. I'm gonna put the new one on, and then that should be set. As far as my setting for my ball joint, I have Old Man Emu 882s with Bilstein 5100s in the lowest setting, which is the lowest ring, and that gave me about 3.5 inches of lift. So I will be setting that. From what I've seen online, some people set it on setting E or F to push your wheels slightly forward so you don't have any rubbing in the back. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that, try it out, and then if I need to make any adjustments, I could take this off. That's the beauty about you know, having adjustability. But I'm gonna start off in F, and then my major problem was my camber, which thank God now I'm gonna have adjustability on that as well. All right guys, there you have it. We have the new lock ring on. Luckily I looked through my tool stash and I happen to have these pliers, which is pretty cool because these are reversible, so I could either open or close depending on which hole you set it on. I basically used the straight edge one, and then I did like this and I pushed it in there. Nothing crazy. All right, so we got the new washers that came with the kit. As far as I know, the humps on the washers go towards the inside of the bushing. So if you have your washer like this, the hump is gonna go on the inside like this, and then like that. So yep, let's throw this on. All right guys, so according to my specific setup, this is the passenger side, which is the right side. I'm doing F, so basically it's going to be installed like this. Like that, and then the washer goes on top, and then the nut goes on top. And for the time being, this specific bolt right here, or nut, goes toward down to 150 foot-pounds, but for the time being I'm gonna set it to 90 foot-pounds just so I could see how much camber I am gonna be adjusting. So yeah, on the driver's side, which is the left side, the only thing I did different than the passenger side is, on the passenger side I put the bolt on this way because I didn't have none of these brake lines kind of in the way, and it was a lot easier. On the driver's side, it wasn't too big of a deal either. I switched the bolt around and I put it in this way because all the brake lines are in the way. All right guys, so everything is on. As you guys can see, I don't know if you guys could kind of tell, but I still have positive camber on the front. And I know this is not very accurate, but I have a level here, big level, that I use to measure stuff, and yeah, the amount of camber that I have in the front, it's still pretty bad. So the reason for this is because when I got the alignment first, they adjusted the control arms on the bottom and just kind of max things out, compared to the caster. But now since I have caster adjustability on the top, I'm gonna zero out, or basically push the lower control arms farthest out, and if I need to adjust any positive or negative camber, I would do the adjustments on the top instead of doing it on the bottom. And I'm gonna do that for both sides, and that way I can zero out my camber and not have horrible tire wear on the bottom. Once again, I am not a pro. This is just stuff that I have learned from online. All right guys, so after some adjustments, as you guys can see, I'm making some adjustments, that way I could kind of get it sort of good to be able to drive to the alignment shop and get everything dialed in. But for the most part, I had to come in the bottom, and yes, I know my axles are leaking. Future video, but yeah, like I said, I adjusted my camber already, and I got that pretty dialed in, and now I'm adjusting my toe, because once you install the upper control arms, everything is pretty much thrown off. My caster is pretty much good. I'm adjusting the toe out a little bit, just because my wheels were like this So now I'm kind of zeroing them in, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side, and then she'll be ready to pretty much go to the alignment shop and then get dialed in, and then I could buy some tires. Well guys, there you have it. For the most part, that is pretty much dialed in from my naked eye. I did use you guys can see there, it's looking pretty dialed in for the most part. Honestly, I think I feel like I did a better job than the previous shop that I did an alignment to the truck. But I have all the plates off on the bottom right now, and I'm gonna leave them off just so the next shop that I take it to has better access to anything that they need to adjust for alignment. All right guys, so we have received our shackles for the Tacoma. So these are gonna be basically, they're adjustable. I'm gonna unbox them, but they're basically 1 inch, 1.5, and 2 inch adjustable shackles. And also, so you guys remember, basically I installed my control arms. These front tires are still good, so I moved the back ones to the front. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these 2 front ones for sale. And the reason why is because I mean the back ones are pretty much done for, but you gotta love OfferUp, because I picked these 295 7017s Cooper Evolution MTs, and basically these are about 90% thread life, so I'm gonna throw these on. I got these for dirt cheap, so why not? Now these are also a bit taller, obviously, because these are pretty worn out also, but I may have to trim a little bit. Oh yeah, big difference. But also look how badly worn they are, but it's a big difference. I'm a bit concerned in the front. I think I'm gonna have to trim some more other than what I have already done. Currently it doesn't rub anywhere, but I might have to adjust my caster so I could push these forward just a bit. But yeah, excited to throw these on, and the shackles. Alright guys, if you guys never watched my previous Tacoma build video, I'm gonna link it up below. But anyways, these are Old Man Emu greasable shackles. But let me show you guys something. Alright, so I took the truck wheeling, so it's kind of dirty, but I don't know if you guys can see, but the front of the truck sits slightly higher than the rear, and my OCD kind of is bugging me. So the back usually always sits slightly lower than the front, and that's bugging me. So I went ahead and I got a set of Maxtrax adjustable rear shackles. I believe the top position is 1 inch, the middle position is 1.5 inch, and the last one is 2 inches of adjustability. All right, really quick, we got one out, no biggie. So basically this is what we're gonna do. Put this one at the top here and get it lowered enough to try to get it into this hole. These aren't hard to take off anyway, so don't really take a long time. But yeah, I'm gonna repeat the process with this one. With this one over here, all I gotta do is drop this down, and I should have access to taking this bolt off. All right, so if anybody's ever getting or having trouble installing these, so I have both plates off from the old shackles, which are right here, and then I got this at the 1.5 inch on one side, but the springs actually were going up really high, and I couldn't get enough leverage, so I ended up just grabbing the jack. I put it right here like this, and I moved it up or down depending on how much I needed, because the tire was already on the floor on this side. So yeah, I used the jack stands or the jacks bar to create leverage, enough leverage to get those things in there. All right, so there you have it. One side is installed. I have not tightened these up yet because just as always and as instructions say, once you finish the other side, we're gonna let the suspension kind of put its own weight on it, bounce on the back a little bit, a couple of times, and then finally torque these down. Yeah. All right guys, so last step is to go mount these bad boys. Now they're not brand new, but they're pretty much almost new. I got a really good deal on these Evolution MTs, Cooper Evolution MTs. These are a 295 7017. So it's basically like a 34-inch tire. These were 285 7017s. So definitely a step up. And I made some adjustments to the caster in the front. So I pushed the tires a little bit forward. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and load these up and see how they look. Well, all right boys, we got the tires mounted, and all that is left to do is to wash the truck and then see how she looks cleaned up. She's pretty dirty right now because I took her out wheeling, but as you can see, she definitely looks a lot better. So yeah buddy, let's give her a wash. Alright guys, she's all washed up. As you can see, she cleans up pretty nice. Got some armor on the tires. She's looking good. But you guys are going to want to stay tuned because on the next video, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of trimming on the wheel wells on the inside right here. And then probably take this baby wheeling. See how these new tires do. There's a couple other things that I want to do also. A couple other things that I want to add. Got the Sequoia over there. That's a future build coming up to the channel. So if you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing because we got a lot of content coming up in 2023. But yeah, just some simple things, some tasteful mods, just some badging, and then some basically Raptor lights that I want to throw on the front grille. I originally bought for that, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw them on the Tacoma. But yeah guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video guys. I hope you guys like the detailed videos. Some of these videos I know are a lot longer. I go into a lot of explaining and what I do, but I hope you guys like it. But that being said, there's a lot more content coming up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there's some companies that want to jump in on board with some products, and we're gonna do some reviews on that stuff coming up. So we're definitely gonna take this truck wheeling and do some experiments with it, front sway bars, delete, stuff like that. So on top of that, if you guys are new to the channel, like I said, consider subscribing. Because in the future we are also gonna be probably building this thing too. I love that thing, that Sequoia. This is more like my little baby. I take care of her a lot, and that thing should be a monster too once I get that going. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video guys. Please hit that thumbs up if you guys have some time, and let me know any suggestions, any comments, any questions you guys have. Put them down below, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.